Thanks, Abby. Hi, everyone. Um, I'll just give a brief on our Mijibora project, which is a project funded by the Western Indian Ocean Marine Science Association through the Cities and Coast project. And the project basically tries to look at smart and sustainable cities. And in this case, we're looking at Mombasa City and then trying to see what other cities, and in this case, Durban in South Africa, that has done in trying to attain the smartness and sustainable, and then bring that concept into our own city. And the project does not seek to measure the smartness and sustainability, but rather try to envision a smart, sustainable city of Mombasa. And the plan is to meet the needs of the present generation and the future generation, and also try to provide an equal opportunities for growth and development, and integrate some of the Internet of Things and ICTs into the innovation strategies. So the project is funded for 3 years, and I think we are almost into our second year. And yep, you can move to the second slide. So the overall aim is basically to conduct a situational analysis, and this is to look at the different urban forms and urban drivers within Mombasa City, in trying to understand how Mombasa is doing in terms of attaining that smartness and sustainable, and looking into waste management, water and sanitation, energy, and other urban forms, and now use all that information to predict the future, and having that desirable smartness, and also envisioning prototyping and mainstreaming of smart and sustainable future pathways. And this now can be replicated in other coastal cities. You can move to the next one. So the project is mainly based using this framework, which is an analytical framework. And on one of the things that the project is looking at is doing an assessment or gathering primary information that will give a status quo of Mombasa, and then using that status quo to project towards a favorable situation, and also trying to come up with desirable future scenarios, which is through peer-to-peer learning with our sister city, which is eThekwini, and also leveraging on digital and ICT innovations using geospatial technologies to come up with that notion of smart and sustainable, and also piloting some of the prototypes in coming up with the smartness of the cities, and how the city of Mombasa can get itself into that motion of becoming smart and sustainable in terms of waste management, water and sanitation, energy consumption, and other stuff. And then that now leads to a desirable future where the environmental resources are managed well. You have a proper water and sanitation infrastructure. You have a proper waste disposal system, an efficient energy consumption, and also try to figure out some of the gaps that are in policies that can, enhance in attaining that smart and sustainable city. So in this case, I'll just give two examples of activities that the project is undertaking, and that leads to more the MSP processes, as my previous colleagues have reiterated, in terms of having the stakeholders management. How now we bring the county governments within the coastal region in trying to play a role in developing the framework for MSP. So go to the next slide. So this is a situational analysis of mangroves within the Mombasa County, and we know like mangroves sits at the boundary between land and the ocean. So basically looking at how mangroves are within the Mombasa County, and what mechanisms can be put in place in protecting and managing the mangrove ecosystem. And I think this gives a perspective on that disjoint or dislink between what is happening on land and what is happening in the ocean. And that's where now engaging the stakeholders, and in this case, having all the stakeholders that are involved in planning come on board in the MSP process to sort of have that synergy between the land and the ocean. And then the second activity that we are working on, I'll move to the second slide, the other slide, down. So this is a transformative river management, and in this case, we are looking at, for those who are familiar with Mombasa, so we're looking at the Mtopanga River, which drains its waters along the Jomo Kenyatta public beach. So we're trying to understand what are the issues that are within the river channel, and as we plan for allocating for the resources and areas in the marine, then we should also think of what's happening inland that will have an impact on whatever is being planned in the marine sector. And this gives a clear indication of how the system is is polluted, and all this during heavy rains is drained down into the ocean. So we need to have that proper engagement with stakeholders in trying to understand, have a holistic picture of how the systems work on land and in the ocean, so that we can have a robust MSP. And then I think my last slide just give key highlights. Yep, down. It's the last slide. Yep, there. So just looking at how the coastal cities are, and as Dr. Ochanda had stated earlier, they're at the forefront of they should be at the forefront of the MSP processes, and harnessing the potential of cities to benefit also, such as sustainable livelihood, sustainable housing, waste management, ecological protection, and restoration, and also integrating the urban planning aspect and the marine spatial planning should be a priority. And also restoring and protecting coastal and waters ecosystem, and also use more scientific research to draw the linkages between cities and MSP processes in terms of sustainable development. I think that gives a perspective and a narrative of what Mijibora in a nutshell is, and how some of the activities that we are doing sort of try to link to some of the MSP processes. And the whole idea of this project is working with the county government as the key stakeholder in all this. So everything that the project outputs are going to be conducted, it directly feeds within the county government policy development and other processes that are taking place within the county government. I think that's basically, in a nutshell, what the Mijibora project is. We can sort of have more engagements after this. Thank you.